So, whoops. I kind of sort of accidentally took an entire month off of this game. Because first I got really busy with Small Saga. I was just really excited that it finally came out after all these years. And then I went off to Midwest Fur Fest. And then came back sick again. Instead of recording more Talos Principle while sick like I did after Reno's biggest little FurCon, I instead just kind of obeyed my feelings of not feeling like I was in a puzzle mode, and so I just didn't play it for a while, and that's what we did. But now we're back finally. Sorry about that. This only really affected the Patreon people. That's who I'm talking to, who noticed the change in schedule because the output's consistent otherwise. But yeah, I binged the hell out of this game for 2 weeks a month ago, and then binged Small Saga, then was gone, and mostly just played did some Let's Tries for a few weeks, and kind of am currently on the verge of binging Lies of P, but I need to not forget about Talos Principle in that process, so here I am. I remember seeing this last time. We were hinted at these weird bubble thingies and just wondering what their deal is. Also, I should get out of here because this effect happening on the screen is gonna really make this video look weird and get to be a big file size. Let's see, did I finish these? Ah, yeah, emergency shutdown. Those messages were corrupted anyway. But given what I just saw, probably haven't been quite here yet. From Thekla to Athena. Beloved founder, Mayor Herbanubis has done so much to bring your vision to life. We have almost reached the goal. Sadly, there are still those who refuse to believe. They want to spread their filth across the world, defile all that is beautiful and that we are meant to protect. Hope that when we fulfill the goal, you'll return and change their hearts, or cast them out, if there's no other way. I want to cast Thekla out. They're the worst person. Breakthrough contains singularity, quadrupled size of sight. Energy output exceeds halting main device test until... Byron, from the Lives of the Companions by Randolph 777. Byron, from the very beginning, was most similar to Athena and Cornelius. His enthusiasm and wit did much to keep the people from losing hope during the challenging days when New Jerusalem was still young. When others saw failure and defeat, Byron saw obstacles that could always be overcome through intelligence and hard work. He fervently studied the teachings of the progenitor, and often regaled his friends with fantastical stories of what the world could one day become. When the conflict between Arathis and Sanshuinthon turned violent, the first such incident in the history of New Jerusalem, and still, at the time of writing, one of very few such cases, it was Byron who intervened, counseling restraint and forgiveness. He was unwilling to fully blame either side for what happened, instead emphasizing the extreme stress both parties had been under. Irrational behavior is frequently the result of a perceived lack of viable options, he argued before the assembled citizens, while both Atrahasis and Sanshuniathon clearly behaved incorrectly. The ultimate source of the problem is the situation we placed them in, of having to do so much with too few resources. The escalation of the conflict occurred because both were doing their best to achieve their goals. That's not terribly fair, pitting them against each other like that, is it? That said, I do suggest we acknowledge that they were both hot-headed idiots and make them apologize. 5358. Aftermath of the New Alexandria disaster, Byron argued unsuccessfully for the rebuilding of the colony. And then it just ends. It just ends there. It's over. If Byron mattered so much to you, why didn't you tell him where you were going? I would have loved to have an older brother. Failed to load comment. Ooh. Not gonna get that answer that easily here, are we? Should I be in trouble? Oh, we're okay. Ish. This place does feel a little worrying.
You know, dealing with this hyper-advanced technology is quite challenging enough without the place also being bloody haunted.
Did you figure out anything else about the generator?
When I said it was outputting enough energy for 2 New Jerusalems, I wasn't kidding. It really was. And no emissions of any kind. I'd have to run more tests, but it seems like a perfect power source.
But it was going, in your words, bananas?
True, but that was user error.
Fair enough.
Anything can be used badly. Pellegrino once almost killed himself with a bucket. But I'm pretty sure I could idiot-proof this thing if they let me. Oh well, we'll see.
How do you... This fox is freaking out. This fox is freaking out, man. The AI just has really specific constraints of don't walk this close to the water, don't walk that close to the cliff, but also run away from people. But this is like a narrow band where it's just stuck freaking out and doesn't know what to do now. Very funny. It kind of breaks the illusion. That works a bit better when it's in the dense forest, and it's more likely for you to lose sight of it after it runs for a couple seconds. But in places like this, they fit a little weirdly. Ah! Come back, 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 come back. It took me a moment to realize what it was. I'm like, oh right, it's the thing you chase. Not the memory hologram robots. That's cheating, don't go up there. Cheated. You cheated. This music's definitely gonna cut out. I got an achievement that one time for making the music not cut out, which makes me more anxious about it cutting out now, even though the first several times I did one of these, it did cut out, because I failed to catch it in time. How the fuck do you even get up? What the fuck? How do you even get up there? A little awkward to have taken a break, because I don't know where things are. We'll find it later. I don't know how to get there. You also might have to finish the bridge to get up there. I think that might be where it was. Let's read this thingy. How it was before. From J.J. Nakalembe's Akaba to Antarctica, moments of transition and revelation. My great-grandmother lived to be 108 years old, retaining her sharpness of mind to her last day. A couple of months before she died... I've been here before. I remember that entry. Right. I screwed up. It had a hand icon on my mini-map, which I only now remembered. That means I've done it before, because it's a question mark if you haven't done it before. What happened to our friend that was... Did he leave? Or she? It might have been Melville. There they are.
Yes.
What do you think about Miranda creating life?
Personally, I'd focus on creating things that help human beings. But her desire to spread life seems admirable to me. If most of the universe is dead, not doing anything with all that space seems like a waste.
Yeah, 7 should be my next goal, but we spotted this place over here on the way in, and down there is one of the secrets.
Yep. Yep. Ah. Ah. Ah.
Yeah, where that thing went was kind of perplexing. Not only did it go way up in the air, but it went under something, like it's floating underneath it. I wonder if you do like a gravity flip to even reach it or something. Stowaway. Got a grav shifter just sort of hanging out here. Got a fan, which you can use to knock one of these things upward. So our goal is to connect that to the thing. I did not want us to land on there. You can't really send it up there normally. Yeah, without a platform, it's not going to go through the air. Bleh. Hi. I don't think I want to stand on the wall. That's restrictive. Okay. So there's a red beam here, but you can only get it perfectly straight. Maybe while on this button? But I could climb up here on my own already. Let's see. This is the only gravity surface. I can also jump on it, which is always a weird moment. Okay. I think you want to use the gravity thingy on this button to... Oh, nope. If you put the gravity thing here, you won't be able to see that because there's a corner here. I feel like the fence doesn't work out here. Like, can't see this at that angle at all, and you can't see that. So try to get that up here to connect this beam to those things. And one of the results will be getting that box out, and then getting there is just my destination. That thing might be able to hit that from here while this is being held down, but it won't be able to hit that one, I don't think. What do you want? What is your secret? So I can blow stuff upstairs with the fan if I get the box. No other gravity surfaces, right? So the only real functions this thing has is that it can activate that one gravity surface. And it can hold a button down, so maybe it should do that for now. Maybe as low as possible. Then I can hold it while I'm going through here. There we go. It does reach that. And now I don't really need the box the same way as I thought I might, I guess. Let me out. Okay. As I'm strafing around, it never lights up the laser source. So the box is in our way. It also doesn't work up here because now it's too close. So it needs to be further away than that. Probably beyond this. And when I put it down, that becomes a problem. And they won't just let me, like, put it on the side of the button. So that would be too easy, I guess. What happens if it catches itself? That's not supposed to happen. Help, 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 help. Game's not supposed to do that. Okay. Alright, forgot to do this. Let's go try that again. Forget that ever happened. Alright, so somewhat annoyingly, the thing does not suck itself towards a wall. Which is a bit of a bummer. So I was definitely hoping to get a second object over here that maybe I can get out of the way of the beam, but even then that seemed dubious. The fact that you can't out-hide it because the box doesn't help. I think that means that let's see, can I grab... You can take the fan off. Oh. Ow. Ow. Okay. Yeah. Just don't break the game again. That's the small object you use. That's what the box is for, is it lets you jump into the beam with the fan. Ah, I did it. I'm good at video games. Bye-bye. It's running from me again. I don't know how to reach it. It escapeth me. Don't see anything back here. Yuck it. Environmental observations. Field notes of local biosphere. The environment has been modified to allow life to spread. Most life forms can be found in other parts of the island as well, but some appear to be endemic to this region. It's possible they were genetically modified to be better able to survive here. There are some particularly gorgeous dragonflies that I cannot help but think were deliberately designed to be beautiful. But maybe I'm making the same mistake our ancestors made, seeing intent where there is none. Melville, gravity manipulation. Athena's technology can alter and reverse gravity. We've seen multiple cases of anti-gravity on the island. The potential industrial applications of this technology are staggering. So many of the challenges we face when trying to build involve gravity. Moving things, lifting things, keeping things in place. One can say that a significant part of human history has just been a long struggle with gravity. With anti-gravity, all these processes would become simpler and safer. A victory for mankind, as Byron would undoubtedly say. Oh, this one. The Talos Principle, 1961. Digging through the archive, I was surprised to discover there's a movie based on the Talos Principle. An international co-production written by Robert Harrison Blake, a pseudonym for an unknown screenwriter, and directed by a young Sergio Leone. It stars Peter Ustinov as Stratton of Stregheria, Zero Mostel as his comedic sidekick Nicomachus, and Angel Aranda as the earnest Amintus. It's not a realistic biography of Stratton, but a kind of sword and sandal fantasy epic that culminates in Strandon building a replica of the mythological robot Talos to defeat the war-crazed Spartans. That part is fun and surprisingly well done for its tiny budget, but the movie also contains a number of fascinating dialogue scenes inspired by Stratton's work. Ustinov and Stratton use a line I really liked. "There are always hard times in human history, Amintus. Do you think we are the first to be besieged by enemies, or to doubt the wisdom of our allies? But while yesterday is set in stone, a better tomorrow is always within our grasp." That's fascinating. Thank you for sharing. How weird that this film is not better known. It's what Trevor said in that audio file 1K found. Great art isn't always appreciated in its own time. It's not like people particularly love Stratton himself, but we can appreciate it now. Makes me wonder about revisiting that film. I assume they're talking about a real movie that exists in our world. Please don't sue us, please don't sue us. Okay, we got a location swapper, but something has to stay in here. And it's right against the window. Can't really see shit from here. It's like a sacrificial item. There's a crate on that wall on the anti-gravity that you can take down if you reach it, I guess. Or you point the suck thing at it. Suck! Nope. It doesn't suck towards me. But yeah, the struggle here is that whatever's sitting here can't connect to anything. Nothing's in line of sight. So it's just a sacrificial item that lets you take one other item out. Red beam opens to reveal a gravity spot. That's actually, you have to jump. Oh, there's one up there too. Like at first glance, you just have to jump to even tell it's back here. Let's see. Red beam source, red beam destination. Just a box. A lever. To make it so you can toggle. Ooh, that toggles both. Okay. So it'll make something float in the air. Like a box with a beam emitter on it or something. is often what that is. But very specifically, we cannot interact with the thing while it's in the air. Ah, okay, yeah, probably a box with a beam emitter, because it then would be able to open this. But why? Yeah, okay, because the beam can't connect that to that. Or can't connect that to that. Wait. You're in here. I can connect this to this easily enough, but how do I get it to even connect to that floating box? Has to go through there, then back to there. There's an anti-gravity spot here. If you make it levitate, it'll probably make it go into this thing while the purple's coming out and suck it over here. But it still won't be in line of sight of that. So it can't connect the beam, so what is its purpose? It goes that way next? Maybe. And then once it's over there, it then has line of sight of that to that. So we want to put a box with the beam emitter on it while it's connected to all these things, and it'll eventually take it over there. And I think I'm going to want... So I think my first objective might be to get that bonus box. If I can figure out how to reach it. That doesn't work from here either. We could start here, but does that do anything for us? Seems unhelpful. Why is there one on the floor here? Wouldn't that just suck it down? How is that helpful? And like, I can't get over there. I can take this out for now, but for... Is that really helpful? It's another item I can technically use to hold a pressure plate down. I think it's deliberately kept out of my range. And now the fan's gone, so we're not going up. It just definitely feels like that's like an extra box that currently doesn't help. Can I suck it over there? Is that how this works? That's how this part works. And that's why there's one on the floor, so I can bring it down. There we go. A little finicky, but we got it. It wasn't reacting at first. Okay, now we have a second box. So now it can be your job to hold this door closed while we then bring the fan back over here, and then that fan is gonna have a thing on it. I fucked up. I forgot to connect the beam first. So now it's just stuck up there. I can technically get it down, but it sounds like it's going to be way more work than just starting over. So let's just go back. There we go. Now it's connected to that and that, which probably doesn't matter, and that. And we'll see if I can make this part work now. Gotta pull the fan first. That's an important step in the process. Zoop. And now I guess the fan isn't necessary anymore, so now I can put this back over here. I wasn't sure what to do in this step, but now I realize that I don't need that fan anymore, so that means I can do this. And now it's connected? Yay, I did it.
That was very smart, 1K. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound surprised. I mean, like, clearly you know what you're doing.
You're starting to repeat yourself, which is ironically making you sound more artificial. Wow! Very good! Ah. Step and release. Big ring. I assume these two combined to make this one go down? Gravity.
Yep.
Big gravity. I can get the gravity beam if I walk up here. What the fuck's happening? Oh god, my brain. Okay, up there's another one. That one's got a jammer. It's got a new jammer lammy. But I need the gravity beam to get that one. I can reach this one on foot, but that one I need the beam for from there. Because I can't walk to that. I need the fan to solve the puzzle. And something to power it, which is the red beam, it looks like. But I currently can't do anything. I believe I'm gonna need the fan for this for now. Bring it at him to swap. Right. I can't use the fan again because it's still over there. I can't take this item with me to get up there. But I can suck this out. with the power of creativity. And now we've got the accumulator. Red beam is behind there and it has to connect to there. So my goal is to make a connector, connect this beam to that, but I need to also have both of these things down. And when you have, I can't have the laser bouncer be here. Oh, but it's the accumulator. So I just need to charge it with that. Okay, so I just need to get both these buttons pressed, then go over there and grab the red beam, and then I can just walk it over here. There's no beam bouncer. So that's neat. I think I'm gonna need this jammer. The issue is that the item I need the least right now is the fan. There we go. So let's put the fan in the hardest to get spot. I can then go back to get you. There we go. Okay. But now I need the accumulator. And try this. Does it let me latch onto this thing while I'm... There you go. I don't have to have line of sight with it at the time. That's good to know. Now I go back and get you. To get you. Oopsie. Swap you for the fan. So I can swap you back to the accumulator. There we go. So one of the core mechanics here was actually just realizing one of these is inaccessible and one of these is accessible, so you keep having to swap out the economy of what's around so that you can actually get rid of things. Because oftentimes you don't want the gravity thing for anything other than to get up here, so you ultimately want to be able to store it, but you do need to have it out for the process of swapping out the least useful item into here so you can get the right two items out. So there's like a little shuffle you have to do a few times. Which I did. With my giant brain. There's something looming over here. And the water is staying nice and shallow, so I'm not getting in trouble. Yeah. South. From Miranda to Athena and Cornelius. Larger organisms from the northwestern plains are already moving into the rivers. I've seen frogs and dragonflies. The last generation of plants has really taken root. No pun intended, and is slowly transforming the desert. And yesterday, a bunch of seagulls showed up. With some work, we could apply this anywhere, including Mars, or Mercury, or somewhere much farther away. We could transform a lifeless rock into a place teeming with life. We could make millions of dead worlds come alive. Miranda. Irrationality. An irrational species from Enlightenment on the Precipice by V.A. Malik. Human beings are deeply and inherently irrational, the claim goes, and on some level it's hard to disagree. The most human behaviors are irrational and, in a sense, unnecessary. As animals, we don't need to write poetry, pray, or observe the stars, but to view human history as largely irrational is to get it backwards. The problem with human history, the pragmatic everyday realities of mere survival to the cold logic of global realpolitik, is that it is in fact ruthlessly rational. Far too little space for irrational things like kindness or inspiration. Those who imagine that a return to a more rural, traditional form of living could be a romantic turning away from the tyranny of reason forget that there is no one more brutally rational than the farmer. It is the city that allows us to romance the countryside. It is technology that allows us to appreciate nature. Meow. The purpose of reason, ultimately, is to build frameworks within which we can be irrational.
After we talked about science fiction, Alex gave me a book. Her favorite book, a novel called Athena. It's not exactly what I'm used to reading, but it's pretty good. And it really made me wonder how we're going to be perceived if this project works out. Are we going to be mythologized? Is Alexandra going to be this distant mythical figure instead of the real, funny, human person that she is? It's hard to imagine that we'll all have been dead for hundreds of years. Man, I'm scared. I'm really scared. I don't want to die.
Oh, we have to send a beam there. Now the comments have caught up a bit. I guess people don't like Trevor, or at least vocally, people don't like Trevor. But I think Trevor's interesting because he's just a very realistic character. He just sounds like some dude in a way that's more reasonable than like the majority of characters in fiction in general, but a lot of people in this setting with how much they're built up and so on. Like I kind of think about like it's like everyone in this fucking franchise talks like a video essayist, and then out of nowhere you get Trevor, who sounds like when you watch a video essayist stream and you're like, oh, whoa, it's like weird to hear them like sound and act differently than like their scripted self. Just sort of candid and full of like half-formed arguments and wobbly sentence structure and all that. Which is funny because of course he's scripted too, but that's the loop. He's scripted in a way to sound candid. What was it called? Question block? Like Mario? Yeah. And we do have a floating block. My goal is that. Which you get there via gravity, I guess. This can be deactivated by steppies. We can walk through this, but can't take things through it. We could use that to pull the question block towards us. But to what end? We have a block now. I can do this, I guess. Yeah, it always goes towards the destination. So this doesn't reach that high. So what are they going for with that fan then? Pull here then down, but why? It makes sense we'd want to get something on this side of the room because then I can push this button with it and then drag stuff through here and bring items over here. It's so high up. Did I do it? That's why it's called a question block. I hit it from underneath. Like in Mario. And then I bring it down and I press the button and now I can take all these objects onto the other side of the map and we can accomplish something with that behavior. This one is not removable. It's not a removable fan. Okay. Ta-da! Don't fall out of the map this time. That's just a fear I have now. First episode back and I break the map. I guess I'm just that cool. There. No, not there. It's something else. The dotted line goes to up there, but I can't see where it ends. Ooh. Ooh. What the fuck? What up, Back Betty? Bam lamb. Can't see the beam very well, but I think it's over here. So yeah, this long beam presumably connects to the statue that needs the beam. There's the connector. So if I shoot a beam to that, that's just, I think it's always a green beam. There's a combiner. Whence doth I be combining? Bitches. Yep, it lives in here. There was no beam in that puzzle. Huh. Huh. Okay, so this is the inverter. It's not a combiner, right? We'll have to see what its goal is exactly. You normally have to shoot a green beam into this, so I need a blue and a red. And there's the side of the thingy. Not sure how that's gonna work out. Let's look for the other side of this. Beam stops there, so it's this right here. You can see it right there. How about the neighboring puzzle? Probably not. That tree coverage looks pretty rough. Blue. Trying to remember this puzzle because it's been a bit. Suck into this guy. Cannot suck in that direction. Get on this wall. Blue. Oop, okay, I escaped. I wasn't sure if that was gonna work. This might be a tough angle to pull off. There's no other gravity spots nearby, right? Let's cut out the noise of the other source. Oh. I can see over it. Not quite. Oh, that's connecting. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this thing can only carry one color, so I can't make this green because the only thing that I can connect it to the statue with is an inverter anyway. But red also doesn't work. It has to be green. What happens if you put green through an inverter? I wonder if there's like a secondary source. So yeah, this does not connect to that by default. Otherwise, this might actually be convenient. Because if that connected to that, then it would be sending blue over there already. Then we could call a blue to here, turn it red, and the red and blue would combine over there to be green at the destination. But there's no dotted line pointing to this thing, so that means nothing's connected to it already. At that angle, one must ask how you're supposed to even get a second beam? Or turn it green? Gravity and block. That's all we had. There's not a ton of local puzzles. Let's see. Going by the logic I had a minute ago, I can basically do what I said, which is when I got up, yeah, because I briefly called that a combiner, but it was an inverter, which is unhelpful. But it could be helpful, because if I find a combiner, then I can combine this beam and that beam and send it there. There's no puzzle key. What is that? Just a rock that's up there? If I could easily review all of the puzzles we've done lately, then I would search for which one of them has a combiner in it. There's a structure up here. Oh, that's suspicious. Can I get up there? Maybe it's in the environment then. That'd be a bit of a save. Because I was trying to figure out, like, do I revisit all 10 puzzles in this area and try to look for one that has a combiner? And then try to bring the combiner out of the puzzle, which I think so far the game hasn't let me do that. I don't know if they decided that that was too esoteric of a puzzle type or something, but in Talos Principle 1, there was multiple times where you could take a puzzle component out of the puzzle and then use that to solve stuff in the environment, or sometimes solve secret doors that are in another puzzle. Look at this Sonic Adventure-ass bouncer canyon. Oh, I didn't chain them together. Oh. Ah, there it is. Okay, they're being nice. It is nearby. It's not just on a different planet. Because yeah, whenever a thing like that comes up, I get a little nervous because it could take so long to track down where they're hiding the thing that I need. Probably don't need to come up here, but I am. That counted? I figured I would need to at least make it so it's just inverting into that. I was definitely going to just do this to clean it up so the red beam isn't going there. But I got the good sound on my own. Okay. That's that mystery solved. Now I just need to figure out how exactly one gets to where the other beam, the other one went.
The philosopher is rewarded with poison. The hypocrite is rewarded with power.
But if I find the way back, I bet I can track down where that thing's going. I hope.